just do Kegels. My doctor told me to do Kegels. I think I'm supposed to do Kegels. If I hear that exercise one more time, I won't scream, but I'm just going to probably educate you as to why it's prescribed. As great as Kegels were for the entire women's world, it also has been a downfall. It is the go-to exercise for all practitioners that don't really understand the pelvic floor. And although I'm not a big fan of Kegels, it doesn't mean you can't be. Kegels have a very specific purpose. It is to strengthen that pelvic floor. But just like with anything else, it is individualized to you. Although you might say, I need to do 3 sets of 10 Kegels. What the heck is that? For me, that probably wouldn't work. For you, maybe. We need to make sure we individualize how your Kegels should be done. So in this video, I will describe all the variations of how to do a Kegel, and you find the right fit for you. And I will also let you know who is not a candidate for Kegels. It's not one fits all for all pelvic floor dysfunctions. This is the pelvic floor model that every pelvic floor therapist has in their office. The pelvic floor muscles run from your tailbone to the front of your pelvis. They move like a hammock, forward and back, and even side to side. A Kegel raises the pelvic floor in this direction, so it's pulling up. Imagine yourself pulling up on your pelvic floor, closing your sphincter, and almost feeling a little tightness around the urethra. If you feel that, you're doing a Kegel contraction. A Kegel relaxation or a stretch is as simple as taking a breath to allow that pelvic floor to push down and stretch out. Let's start that Kegel journey. First, cross your legs. Now with your legs crossed, we're going to try to lift inside and close all those sphincters as your legs are crossed. But why are we crossing our legs? It helps actually initiate that lift for you. It's a shorter lever arm. Can you hold it there? Can you count to 3 and hold that Kegel? I can, but I'm starting to clench a little bit too much. So let's get out of this position and stand up. Now, can you lift your pelvic floor, hold that Kegel without clenching your butt, and close those sphincters in? Hold it 5 seconds. That's hard. I'm feeling like I was holding my breath as I was counting for you, so maybe do a little bit less. This time I'm gonna hold it for 3. Let's get moving. Now we are going to incorporate Kegels into our exercise. Let's squat, lift our pelvic floor, close those sphincters without clenching our butt. So this is really great for the people that use all these other muscles to lift their pelvic floor. Let's do a mini squat, and now lift up your pelvic floor, close those sphincters. Imagine everything tightening up like you're having to go to the bathroom, but you're not ready to let it go yet. Now hold it. 1, 2, 3. I like 3 as a starting point because these muscles fatigue fairly quickly. And back up. No, that's a lie. These muscles don't fatigue. What fatigues are the other muscles around it. So let's squat again and hold. We're gonna hold it for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's endurance of the pelvic floor. Now let's try to mess with the pelvic floor and challenge it even more. Let's balance on one leg. Here, as you're balancing and you're focused on not falling over, now lift and Kegel that pelvic floor and hold for 5. Great. Now you have addressed the endurance part of Kegels. But as you know, with strength training, it's not just about how many reps we can do, it's also about how quickly we can do them. So we are going to do pelvic flips. What is that? Come down to the floor. I like to start in what's called a hook-lying position. And all you're going to do is you're going to contract Kegel and relax. Now contract Kegel as fast as you can, so I'm going to count faster. We're going to count up to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Those are the Kegels that were referred to on Sex and the City new show, Just Like That, when Charlotte is trying to help Harry. She's trying to make him do pelvic flicks. Woo! Well, my pelvic floor sure did get a workout. But I'm an appropriate candidate for Kegels. But why is that? I have a weak pelvic floor. How do you know that? I did leak when I ran. I do have some organ prolapse. And generally, my posture's not that great. Kegels are not appropriate for someone who looks like this. That's as much flexibility as they can get. You can't really move their legs apart. If you're a person who's not really flexible, Kegels are not your answer because you're strengthening something that doesn't have length. If you're a person that's often constipated, Kegels are also not the answer. Or you have pain with sex, also not appropriate. So figure out what type of pelvic floor you have, and that will drive your plan of care. Next question is, how often should I Kegel? Well, it's just like strength training. Try to do it about 2 to 3 times a week for about 5 to 10 minutes a day, depending on you. If they feel good and they're not a problem, continue doing them. If they don't feel so good, try it another day, and then keep building on it until your symptoms have resolved. Those of you that can't do pelvic floor, Kegels, or strengthening, don't worry, I got you too. So this is what I like to do first. The first exercise you will do is a figure 4 stretch. Take one leg over the knee and you're going to bring that knee towards your chest. As you can see, this is not an issue for me, but this targets the piriformis, which is part of the pelvic floor. You want to breathe in for a nice deep stretch and just let it out. Breathe in longer than your exhalation because we are trying to lengthen the pelvic floor. Roll to your side to get up for the next exercise. The next exercise is standing hip adduction stretch. Legs are nice and wide. Hinge at our hips. Get your hands to the ground. If you can't get your hands to the ground, grab a yoga block. Take a breath in. Longer than exhalation out. But why is this stretch important? These muscles insert right into the pelvic floor and help co-contract it. If you can relax these muscles, then you won't have tightness in your pelvic floor. Let's move on to my third favorite exercise. Back down to the floor. We're going to do the child's pose. You're going to lean back onto your heels, and if you can't touch your heels, that's okay. You can put a towel underneath. You're going to bring your arms forward, and your knees are going to be as wide as the mat. Breathe in longer here. For a deeper stretch, you can put a block under your head. Hold the stretch for about 10 seconds and repeat 10 times. When you come out of this child's pose, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your knees together and you're going to bring your feet in and out. This is to stretch those hips that go around that pelvic floor. Breathe in longer to feel more of a deep stretch. And stand up using a half kneel to protect that pelvic floor. The next time you're prescribed Kegels, think, do I need to strengthen or lengthen my pelvic floor? Feel confident in your answer of saying, you got it, or no thanks.